So let's talk about AI, but maybe not in the way you're used to hearing about it. Forget the big headlines about chatbots for a second. The truth is, AI is already here, working behind the scenes, shaping everything from the vacation you book to the way we keep people safe. And it's on the verge of completely redefining reality itself. Okay, to really get this, let's start with something we've all felt. You're planning a trip, right? You go online to book a hotel and bam, you're hit with this endless wall of options. It's just too much. How do you even begin to find the one that's actually right for you?
Well, it turns out that feeling has a name: information overload. And it's a massive problem, especially for something like tourism. So, researchers are now building some seriously sophisticated AI, not just to show you more stuff, but to find you the right stuff.
So, how does the AI actually do this? Well, when you're on a travel site, it's not just one little algorithm. It's this whole complex system. Now, don't worry about following every single line and box here. The big idea is that this system is looking at everything: what you've rated before, whose advice you seem to trust, even what people like you tend to prefer, and it crunches it all down into one single, hyper-personalized recommendation just for you.
And you know what? These systems are getting scarily good at what they do. This chart here is comparing a new AI model, that's the orange line, to a bunch of older ones. The score they're using is basically how wrong is the prediction, so a lower score is way better. And as you can clearly see, that orange line is consistently the lowest. That means it's just flat out more accurate at predicting what you're actually going to like.
But here's where it gets really clever. This AI solves another huge problem. See how on the left side the orange line starts so much higher than the others? That's what's called the cold start problem. You know, how do you recommend something to a brand new user you know nothing about? Well, this new AI is way better at giving you a wide, diverse set of options from the get-go, instead of just showing you the same 5 most popular hotels everyone else sees.
Okay, so AI can help us pick a vacation. That's cool. But its impact goes so much deeper than just convenience. Now we're going to see how these same ideas are being used where the stakes are, infinitely higher. We're talking about keeping us safe in the sky.
Think about how we maintain airplanes. For the longest time, it's been all about the calendar. A part gets swapped out every 5,000 flight hours, period. Doesn't matter if it's perfectly fine or not. AI is flipping that script entirely. It's making predictive maintenance possible. So instead of just following a schedule, the system analyzes data in real time to say, hey, that specific part needs attention, long before it could ever become an issue.
So how does this predictive magic actually work? Well, it's basically a 4-step process. First, you have sensors all over the plane just vacuuming up unbelievable amounts of data. Then, powerful AI models, things like deep learning and Bayesian networks, get to work sorting through all that noise to find these tiny hidden patterns that a human could never spot. This allows them to predict a potential failure with really high accuracy, which means maintenance can be scheduled at the absolute perfect moment. It's safer and more efficient. But, and this is a huge but, with all this incredible tech, the experts are crystal clear about one thing. As this quote makes plain, the number one absolute non-negotiable priority is safety. AI is here to make the gold standard of aviation safety even better, not to replace it. The human is, and always will be, in the loop. All right, so we've seen what AI is doing right now. Let's shift gears and look at where this is all headed. We're talking about a world that doesn't just use AI, but a world that is fundamentally built by it. The metaverse. The promise of an AI-powered metaverse? It's honestly mind-blowing. Just imagine this for a second. A surgeon practicing a super complex procedure hundreds of times in a perfectly realistic virtual simulation. They get all that experience, all that muscle memory without ever putting a real patient at risk. And it's not just for high-stakes professions. Think about what this could do for education. Instead of just reading a chapter about ancient Rome, students could literally be there, watching Mark Antony give a speech. I mean, these are the kinds of utopian visions that have billions of dollars pouring into this space. But you knew there was a but coming, right? Every powerful new frontier comes with its own set of dangers. And when it comes to the AI-enabled metaverse, the incredible promise comes with a really profound peril. And the danger here, it comes down to a whole new kind of data, our neurological patterns. Now, this isn't data you type into a search bar. This is the data created by your subconscious, where your eyes dart to on a screen, the tiny twitches in your facial muscles. It's the ultimate evolution of what we saw with the travel sites. But instead of predicting what hotel you want, it's predicting what you're about to think. Just let that one sink in for a minute.
Experts at the Brookings Institution are warning that the gear we'll use to enter the metaverse, the headsets, the sensors, could collect data so intimate, so revealing about our inner state, that it's more powerful than a polygraph test.
And look, this isn't some sci-fi theory. This is real. Companies are already patenting this kind of technology. Technology that can track your eye movements to see what grabs your attention, that can read your facial expressions to know how you feel, and then use that data not just to understand you, but to actively manipulate your behavior, maybe even your moral choices.
So this brings us to the absolute core of the issue. This isn't really about the technology anymore. It's about governance. It's about a simple question. Who gets to write the rules for this brand new reality?
And right now, it looks like we have two basic paths we can go down. On one side, you have what you could call the platform barons, a world where a few giant tech companies make up their own rules to benefit themselves, kind of like old feudal lords. On the other side, you have a system of common law, a shared set of rules built over time, designed to protect everyone who takes part.
And at the very heart of that common law idea is a principle that's been around for ages, a duty of care. It's a simple concept. It just says that if you make a product or a service, you have a basic responsibility to think about how it might harm people and to take reasonable steps to prevent that harm. It's the foundation of pretty much all modern safety standards.
Which leaves us right here with this one final, incredibly important question. As AI gives us the power to layer a digital world directly on top of our physical one, who gets to control that reality? Who gets to augment our reality? Is it going to be a few powerful companies? Or is it a right that we all share and protect together? The answer to that question is going to define the world we live in.